now. Welcome to the Do It 24 Crew Monday Call, you guys. Jerry Cooper, active World Team member, been in the business 7 years now. It's been an amazing ride. Met a lot of dope people, done a lot of great things. And that's actually how I met our guest speaker tonight. So let me tell you guys, right? It was Extravaganza 2000 and I believe 16, maybe 15 in Long Beach, right? It was a special party, you know what I'm saying? Like after you had to qualify, do something like that. And I remember this was my first time seeing them, right? And at the time, you know what I'm saying? Being up here is not a lot of young dudes that look like myself doing the business in my age range, right? So I remember when I went down there, you see everybody, you see Style, you see Super, you see Brian Holyfield, Garen, they're like a little bit older, right? So I see this guy, we're around the same age, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's good? We talk a little bit, whatever. Then we happened to go to Extravaganza the following year, right? After that, I'm like, oh, yo, bro, I see you been grinding. We followed each other on Instagram and whatnot. Then what solidified the relationship was we went to a qualification in Cancun, right? So in Cancun, it ain't super business. It's not Extravaganza. You get time to, you know what I'm saying, chill out and see what's good. You know what I mean? So at Extravaganza, me and this gentleman actually had the opportunity, get closer and, rap. And, ultimately I was like, you know what? I like what you own, bro. I like how you present yourself on the ground because, he reminded me a lot of myself because I'm older than him. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Herbalife is your age doesn't matter because he was younger than me. I believe he came into the business after me. And then I remember I was active World Team and I remember seeing him. Dude, and it was like, I don't know what happened. Momentum, he started working. Active World Team, Get Team 2.5. It just recently, I believe within the last 90 days, just hit the Millionaire Team level, you guys. So this is a brand new Millionaire Team member on the line from Ohio. My boy, Steven Adams, my guy. Come off the call and do your thing, man. Definitely. We appreciate you.
Fire me up, bro. Man, thank you so much for the edification. I appreciate it. It's always dope when you can hear edification with real homies that you done travel the world with, and made some memories and this got a little ratchet with, when you
Right.
And when you can cross the borders together, you feel me? That's how you know the bond is something real. So, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Steven Adams. 28. I turned 28 August 22nd. Leo season is always all year round. You feel me? So just turned 28 last month. Absolutely. So my life has been changed in this opportunity incredibly. 6 years in the business, guys. I actually got introduced to the opportunity at the age of 22. I was a college student. I was in my senior year of school at Ohio University. And man, it's crazy because I just got off a call right before this with one of our newest business partners. And I was just telling them how much this has absolutely changed my life. And how I never knew. I started this business for something so small. I never knew that it would grow into what it has today. Pretty much I was, like I said, a college student in my senior year. I was studying psych pre-med, always wanted to go into sports medicine. And I thought that's where my life was going to be. I always knew I wanted to help people, one, and I always knew I wanted to make a lot of money, two. Both of them was very, very important, no matter what. Both of those was important to me. But I got introduced to Herbalife because I was a walk-on to the college football team here at OU. For those of you who don't know, the walk-on, man, the route it's like trying out basically. So it's a special route. It's not easy. You always gotta stay humble. Always gotta stay working. And at any given moment, you could lose your opportunity. So unfortunately, or very fortunately, I should say, I lost my spot on the team. Right, found myself in a position where I was humbled. Right, I reached to me my highest, my peak. I was turned up, excited, feeling good. To boom, where my low, I guess, so to speak. But I pretty much it's perfect because that's what led me to the Herbalife opportunity, right? I knew the value in being a part of something. I knew the value in the people that you surround yourself with. And it's funny because I don't know who I heard say it, what guest speaker I heard say it before, but I heard somebody say it was Tamika actually. She said, I always say sometimes people might look at Tamika Adams, right, new 20K, and they might say oh, this lady flew through the marketing plan so fast, or so-and-so moved like this, or so-and-so moved like that. But what they don't realize is sometimes in our life, right, we end up in positions, we go through things in our life that prepare us for other aspects and other experiences in our life. And so for me, I feel like there were certain things that kind of led to this situation in Herbalife, and kind of led me to led me to a space where I was ready to say yes to the opportunity. And that's because I remember when I was 18 years old, I was a freshman in college, turning up, right, party lifestyle, chasing a lifestyle, doing Herbalife before I had an ID. And it found me in a position where I ended up getting in trouble, right? Some of y'all didn't catch that, but it's all good. Ended up in a position where, I had to check in with somebody. I had to have a meeting once a month, right? I had to update people on what I was doing, and things like that. Some of y'all catch my drift. But long story short, I was in a position where I was in the worst possible mental, physical, and spiritual mind state in my life, right? I was struggling with anxiety and depression. A lot of people wouldn't have known, right? In the daytime, everything was all good. But every single night, it was like, I can't even explain the feeling, like, honestly. And it's crazy thinking about it, because I'm grateful for, for where God brought me and where my life is today. But at that point in my time, it was like fighting with internal battles. Okay. And at the time, I didn't have a group of individuals surrounding me that could kind of pull me out of it. And I didn't have an opportunity to focus on that would allow me to continue to move forward. And I think about what led me to that space. I was at a space in my life where, once again, fresh out of high school, I was supposed to play ball, didn't play, ended up not playing, right? And that led me to make so many decisions in my life. And how many times have we found ourselves in a space where we was chasing something, right? Or we was in touch with something, in tune with something that we cared about, and because we lost it, we allowed our lives to low-key spiral out of control. And maybe not spiral. Sometimes it starts with just one little thing, right? Let me not go to this event. Let me not get on this call. Let me have this snack. Let me do this one little thing in the dark. Let me do this other little thing. And then it becomes a habit, and it becomes consistency. And then next thing you know, we're like, how did I end up here? And that became me when I lost that initial opportunity to play ball. And like I said, ended and landed me up in a space in my life where I was completely lost and torn and broken. And that right there, I ended up, transferring to Ohio University, getting my life right spiritually, and going through some things and developing as a man that allowed me to, the second time around, right, to have a mindset of preparedness and readiness, to say, okay, you know what? I know what that path looks like, and that ain't what I want. So now let me be ready, and let me change, right? Let me change, and let me look for something else in different avenues. And so I said all that to say, sometimes the things that we've gone through in life are to prepare us for when we revisit them, we get to choose a new path. We get to make a new decision. And so when I found, when I'm at this point in my life now, opportunity lost, football, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I've been down this road before. I will not allow myself to go back to that depression, that anxiety, right? To those bad habits, right? And it's crazy because just so happened that at that time, that's when Herbalife was actually introduced to me by a former teammate of mine. And he saw me trying to get into fitness. I had no true direction, didn't know what I was doing, right? I just was copying things on Instagram, social media, just trying to really fit in. I had no idea, no plans to make an actual business or anything like that. But one of my teammates saw me, and he's actually from the Compton, Carson area, and got introduced to Herbalife out there through that community with Keon Owens. And so he saw me trying to do this, and he said, hey, bro, like, I see you trying to get involved. I see you trying to stay positive. He said, but listen, let me give you some direction. I know some people that's really making some things happen, right? Really making some things happen back home. And I think you could be a person that could do that here. And so for me, because I had said no before, because I had chosen negative things before, I say, you know what, this time around, let me explore the positive options. Like, I had no idea really what Herbalife was. Or I didn't know the money people was making. Like, it wasn't, some of y'all already know y'all cousin already did Herbalife. I know a lot of y'all from LA and that area, and it's big out there. I had no idea what this thing was. But nonetheless, he was able to get me on the phone with President's team member, at the time, President's team member, Keon Owens. And that conversation right there kind of like changed my life, simply because really for the brotherhood. So I got on the phone, and kind of like Coop said earlier, I heard somebody, saw somebody that looked like me, that kind of talked like me, right? And he was telling me how he had made the month before, he had made $30,000. I'm $30,000 doing what? $30,000 doing Herbalife. And so that right there caught my eye, right? And he told me he had changed his community in Compton, in that area, changed his community to help people and spread positivity in his community, show people how to make money, show people how to get healthy. And he created an impact in his community, and that led him to that type of income. And so right then and there, I automatically started thinking, okay, cool. Well, you know what? If this guy can do it, maybe he can teach me. I don't know if I can make 30,000, but maybe you could help me out, right? Just a little bit. Maybe this is somebody I need to be around and need to be listening to, right? This sounds like the type of conversation that I need to be having, that I need to be hearing. This is somebody I can learn from. And I didn't think it was going to turn into what it has today, but I was interested to see in what other avenues, what could this provide for my life? So I remember him, and shout out to KO, who's like my big brother now, right? But I remember him, one of the big things that I took away from that is he asked me what I wanted. So he didn't tell me what I needed to do. He didn't tell me he didn't set my goals for me. He asked me what I wanted. And so I just remember telling him, hey, I want to be challenged. I've been a part of a team my whole life. I've always been a part of something bigger than myself. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that I get to be a part of. And I'm looking for, something where I can make some money. And I remember him telling me, he asked me, well, how much? At the time, I was a peer mentor. So I'm a full-time college student. I had a part-time job on campus, like mentoring kids, teaching them how not to do the things I did my freshman year, right? And trying to keep them in school and focus on good things. And I was only making about $150 a month. So basically nothing at all, like not very much money. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, if I can make an extra $200 doing this thing, Herbalife, like why not? It's going to keep me healthy. I get to be around dope people. I get to have conversations with people that's making money and changing their community. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And so I told him if I can make an extra $200, that'd be worth it. And so he told me, well, first thing first, we're going to get you signed up, and we need you to, no products, no business. So I pretty much signed up then and there. It's crazy because I actually had to borrow $100 to sign up. I didn't even have 100 to sign up. I borrowed that 100 and never gave it back to this day. Never gave it back, but it was the best $100 I ever could have borrowed because of what it's been able to do for me, right? And not just me, but what it's been able to do for the people in my community and the team and the organization, right? The lives that we've been able to impact together. But yeah, major clue right there, major tip was no products, no business. So from that being said, he showed me, got started on the nutrition program. That was back in the day where the program came with, right, Formula One. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Came with Formula One and tea in the bag, right? So that right there kind of led to me, getting on the products, getting the shape, right? Getting started, I was able to drop 7 pounds of fat, put on 5 pounds of lean muscle. Energy went through the roof. Now that was huge for me, mainly because, like I said, I was fresh out of a collegiate strength and conditioning program. So we working out 4 or 5 days a week, heavy squats, power cleaning, hand cleaning, all of that good stuff, right? They giving us shakes after our workouts already. So for me to get that kind of result, that just gave me confidence in the products. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm already fresh out of a collegiate program. If only thing that changed was my nutrition, only thing that changed was the products I'm taking, I know these products got to be fire. Straight up. I know they got to work. And so that result right there, I remember me calling KO and saying, all right, bro, like clearly I see the products. I see what they're doing for me. The tea was huge because I was a big Red Bull. I used to drink Red Bull. I was a coffee drinker, but I didn't really like coffee. So so what that means is you go to Starbucks, you order a small cup of coffee, and then you fill the rest. You ask for a small cup of coffee and a large cup, and then you just fill the rest up with cream and sugar. So that was me, right? I was drinking coffee with my cream and sugar. And so as y'all can already tell, imagine that, like not the healthiest way. And here I am trying to study sports medicine. Dad was a former diabetic, right? And I'm setting myself up for failure automatically. But when I got introduced to the tea and the aloe, changed the game for me. Yeah, yep, just like you, Marie, like my cream with a little bit of coffee. That's how I was. But the tea was a game changer because with that tea, absolutely crazy energy. And I mean, I'm talking about from a college student waking up, having 8 a.m. classes, and I was pre-med. Any of y'all who went to school, man, I don't know what you went to school for, but I'm telling y'all, like, school in general is rough, right? But that pre-med, that science major, when you study in chemistry, physics, biology, that's a whole nother beast right there. You can't just go to class. You know, I mean, I'm my friends talking about what y'all doing tonight. They going out, they going out after class. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what we just talked about. See, like I'm in science. I felt like they was speaking a different language. I gotta go study 3 hours just to figure out what we talked about for 30 minutes in class type of stuff. So I'm in the library every day, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. So that tea changed the game for me, right? Gave me that energy. Now I remember talking to my coach and saying, all right, what's next? I got a great result on the products, but I came in here to make some money too. And I remember him sharing with me, okay, now that you got a result on the products, how many people have you shared your story with? And that was the key, right? He said, how many people have you shared your story with? Have you been showing, are you showing on, sharing on social media? How many people have you talked to about my results? And that right there got me jump started into building my business. And I remember going to the library, taking my tea with me, telling all my friends like, yo, you need to get on this, like you need to get on this. And pretty much my first month in the business making $250. Now, for me, that $250 was huge. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I had to borrow $100 just to sign up. So making $250 was like, oh yeah, we in this thing, right? Two, I had a peer mentor job. Like I told y'all, I was at a part-time job while I was only making $150 a month. So for me to make $250 doing Herbalife, getting in shape, right, and just sharing with my friends and family, not even knowing what I'm doing, it's like, okay, this is easy. I'm doing it around my whole schedule. And on top of that, I don't even know what I'm doing. So mind you, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm in school. That means I learn for a living, right? Basically, when you're in school. And even if you're not in school, right, at a job, guess what? You got to learn the new task. I'm like, okay, so I don't even know what the freak I'm doing. Imagine if I actually learn how to do this thing. What can this 250 turn to? I could probably make 500. I could probably flip that, make 5,000, right? And then maybe I can get like the guy I had that phone call with making $30,000 a month, maybe one day. And so my second month, I took that excitement, started sharing with more people, made $500 6 months in the business. Hit world team, was making over $1,000 a month, got my degree, right? But by that right there, that it all started with that first 250 that kind of gave me the vision for the rest of my life, right? And the vision to say, once again, as a hustler, to be like, okay, cool. Like, how far can we take this thing, right? How far can we really take this thing? And so from then, that's kind of where the journey began for me, and really kind of transition from something that was a hobby to now something I fell in love with, to something I can grow and build with. So now, as graduating college, got a degree, always focused on building and growth. I remember just always being willing to take new moves, make new moves, take risks, right? Invest into your business. And I remember basically moving to a new city, getting an apartment just so I could grow my business. So I graduated college, y'all, didn't apply for a job. Like I was like, you know what? I'm having too much fun with this Herbalife thing, making money, traveling, flying out to LA, seeing the homies like, Coop and whatnot, seeing the squad. I'm like, okay, for sure. Like if I could build like this, and then I'm seeing my mentor, right, who, is traveling, making a lot of money. But on top of that, I mean, it's traveling around the world. They flying them out to STSs. They going to, Jamaica, doing events there, going to Canada, doing events there, doing all these kind of things. I'm like, yo, this type of lifestyle is what I fell in love with. And I wanted to help people through medicine, but I'm seeing like, yo, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than one way for me to make the money and help people. And right now, this Herbalife is showing me that I could do that. So the good thing is, because I ran I was already making $1,000+ $1,500 a month, right? I had now the opportunity to choose where I wanted to go, to choose what I wanted to do. So being able to move to a new city, get an apartment, and focus on building my business really was huge for me. Okay. And so in doing that, that's actually where I met some of my business partners, some of my business partners today, my Active World team members, future global expansion team members, right? But all in all, it took me getting out of my comfort zone. Okay. So in this new city, we had a goal of committing. I know a lot of you guys probably ask your coach, like, okay, what's the next step for me? It's as simple as just talking to more people, right? Talking to more people, building that contact base. So I got into that, focusing on, okay, well, where we go, we're going to talk to 10 people in the gym. We're going to talk to 10 people at the mall, 10 a day about the business, 10 a day about the products, right? And going to the gym, and I remember, going to the gym, whole new city, and me and Mike Curry on the line, right? Brand new Active World team members, best friends, also started a business together, right? And we made a commitment to build and grow and get contacts. And in doing that, pretty much built the foundation of our business, okay? So going to the gym, connecting with people, and a lot of times even understanding that the situation is what we get to make of it. So even though at the time we didn't know anything about nutrition clubs, and for those of you guys who don't know me, I have an organization that I don't want to say primarily is built off of clubs. Half of my organization is built through nutrition clubs, the other half through social media challenges face-to-face. But at the time, we had no nutrition clubs. That wasn't even in our lingo. And if y'all know our upline, right, Keon Owens and them, that they don't run the shake bar model, right? So I'm all the way here in the Midwest. My mentor is 1,000+ miles away, right? But we're trying to duplicate everything that they're doing. And that right there actually, though, led us to getting outside of our comfort zone, led us to talking to more people, right? Led us to building our business. But even with some of our first clients and customers that allowed that as the foundation of our Millionaire team came from us getting uncomfortable and even working through the invitation system to nutrition clubs in someone else's org, right? So pretty much from then on, focusing on doing those small, simple things of getting those contacts, focusing on retailing the product, right? Recruiting and showing people the vision. We were able to establish an Active World team business where right there to me kind of gave me the confidence to say, okay, well, if we can establish Active World team, there's no reason we can't go press, right? This is with no nutrition club, no true foundation at the moment. At the time, this is literally just purely off the hustle, reaching out, connecting, and talking to people. But then I will say, at some point in time, there comes a point in your business where you have to take it to the next level. So as a new Active World team, making $1,500, $2,500 a month, right, was awesome. But I knew that wasn't something that I wanted to live off. I couldn't live off of that. Like I said, even before Herbalife, my goal was, to help people, but to make a lot of money, like no matter what. So $3,000, $2,500 a month wasn't gonna cut it for me. And at some point in time in your business, maybe it's now, maybe it's already happened, maybe it hasn't happened for you yet, but it will. You get to ask yourself a question and say, what new am I doing? What new and uncomfortable situations am I putting myself in? What new things have I gifted to my business? What new things have I invested into my business? Right? There's certain things that at some point in time are going to get results. But at some point in time, you're going to have to do something new. You're going to have to give a little bit more if you want to get more. Can't keep putting the same in and expect to get more out. Right? And so for me personally, that was at the Active World team level in 2016. And going into the beginning of 2017, I got to a point in my business where I felt like I wasn't growing. And even though we had hit Active World team by just hustling, right? Just working, just talking to people, I knew there was no true structure. And I knew for me, it was going to take me getting to more work and developing something that not only I could do, but that could duplicate. And at that moment, that's when I remember 2017 going to LDW, Detroit LDW, and hearing Millionaire team, 7.5 now, right, on his way to press, EJ Fields. But at the time, he got on stage, and I remember him getting on stage in Detroit LDW, April 2017, and he said, last month Herbalife paid me, just in my checks, $8,500, and I'm in my second cut of the Millionaire team. And at that point, it blew my mind. Because I'm like, I've seen his growth, right, in the past year or two. I grew from world team to Active World Team. So I've had some growth. But the homie grew from Active World Team to Millionaire Team, more than tripling his income. And I remember afterwards at that event asking him like, hey, bro, like, what are you doing? And he told me about the Nutrition Club model and how I was able to grow. Now, I know some of you guys aren't here like, well, yo, we don't do clubs. We don't have any clubs, and maybe you do. Whatever the case may be, guess what? At some point in time, you get to decide what you want to do with your business. That doesn't mean that it has to be a nutrition club, but there is going to be a point in time where you are going to have to say, I got to give more to what I got. Maybe you're doing it and you're only giving it 30 minutes a day. Maybe you're only giving it 3 days a week, right? But maybe to get more out of what you want, more of what you want, you have to put a little bit more in. And that's where I was at for my business. So I remember talking to him afterwards. And it's funny, he said something, to me, and he told me about how this model, he said, everything you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And some of you guys are rock stars in your business. You can do 5K. You can do 10K. You hit your 2,500, no problem. But you might have an issue with recruiting and building an organization that can do the same. And I remember him telling me, and he said, okay, dope, we get it. Like, you're cool, you're dope. Like, you got the swag, you can do that. You can hit your cuts, you can do 5K. But what are you doing to put your people who may or may not be as talented as you, or for you to find somebody brand new off the street and put them in a position to where they can do exactly what you do, but faster, but easier, without having to look like you, or having to talk like you, or having to have with the experience that you have. And he said, this is just a model with the Nutrition Club model that allows that to happen. And in my mind, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's 2017. I'm not from Ohio, right? So I already graduated. My parents already moved. So I'm at a space where I'm chasing my dreams and I'm chasing desires, right? So I'm like, nah, bro, you know what? I can't open a club. One, I don't have the money. Two, that's not what my organization does, okay? My people, KO and them, RC&M, they do fit camps and challenges. We don't do the shake bar, right? That's low-key, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be like, man, that's whack. That ain't really Herbalife. That ain't really Herbalife. That's what I used to think. So none of that's gonna work for me. But also on top of that, I want to move to LA. It was already my plan to move to LA by August 2017. Like I said, this is April. And so I remember him telling him like, nah, I don't think that could work for me. Like, and I'm trying to move. I'm trying to get out of here. And this right here, I'm glad he said this to me. He said like, yo, well, let me ask you this. What would you be willing to sacrifice over the next few years to change your life for the rest of your life? And I'm like, damn. And he said, right now you're in a position where you could impact your market. You could learn a new skill. You could develop the new aspect of your business. And you could take over a community and create an impact that could change your life for the rest of your life. But would you be willing to sacrifice for the next 3 to 5 years to do that? Would you be willing to stay, you know what? I know you want to move to LA. I know you want to chase these dreams. I know you want to go out here. You want to be closer to your mentor, whatever the case may be. But would you be willing to put that on hold for 3 years or 5 years to be able to make $20,000 plus a month for the rest of your life? And I remember saying like, yeah, you know what? Like for sure. Like I'm that committed. Like the goal is everything. And at that point in time, but then there was one question left in my head, but like how? Like I don't have the money. Like I said, I don't have the knowledge. I don't know how to do that. And I said, but I kept an open heart and an open mind. So that's another key thing. No matter where you're at in your business, having that open heart and that open mind can lead you to doing things and growing into a person that you never thought you could be. And lead you to operations and lead you to doors that you never thought would open for you, can open for you when you open your mind and your heart up, right, to more. And I remember saying, all right, you know what? Well, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to talk to God. And if things can come to fruition, if doors can start to be open, if this becomes available and this can become possible for me, then I'm not gonna say no to it. I can't make it happen. I ain't got 10,000, 20,000, 30, whatever it takes over. I ain't got that. But if somehow these things start to become possible for me, I'm not gonna say no to it. I'm gonna do my part and make sure I work my butt off and do what it takes to walk through that door. And then it's funny because the next day, I remember I called my dad and talking to him and letting him know like, yo, what I wanted to do. And for the first time ever, mind you, I've been in Herbalife for 2-3 years already. I'm already active world team. I already been to LA. I've been to extravaganzas. I've already, traveled with Herbalife. So he knew I was serious with it. He knew I wasn't playing with it, but he never really supported me in any of my visions. Okay. And sometimes people don't support us in our vision because we ain't giving them enough belief. Right. And we might be like, well, look what I made. I made $400. And ain't nothing wrong with making $500. To me, $500 extra is $500 extra. That's dope. But that might not be enough to convince the next person. You might be like, well, look, I lost 5 pounds. It might take you to lose 50 to convince the next person. So how much are you willing to level up to become an actual statement, right? How much are you willing to level up and to grow for the people around you to undeniably see what your growth? Sometimes it takes more than just a little bit, right? You're like, well, look what I did with my little business. Sometimes we treat our own business like a little business. We making a little extra. I'm doing a little of this, a little of that. And all of that, yeah, we treat it like a little bit, and we expecting people to believe in us and believe in big dreams. We treat it like a little bit, but we want people to believe in big dreams. Sometimes it's going to take that more work ethic and that actual something concrete that people can see and a growth that people can't deny for them to even say yes to us. For them to say yes to us getting on our program or say yes to the business opportunity, we got to treat it and give them something to believe in, right? But I remember talking to my dad and saying, all right, so this is the next step in my business. And he said for the first time ever, he was like, all right, that makes sense. Like, I get it. And so to me, I'm like, okay, God, I see you. Because for 3 years, once again, he's never said that, right? So then I reach out to my mentor, like, yo, this is the next step in the business. This is about to change our life. And he like, okay, bro, I see you. I'm with it. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I said in the beginning, I said, like, God, if you open the door, I'm gonna walk through it. I'm gonna make it happen. Like, if you give me the opportunity, if you give me the wood, I'm gonna build the fire. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of the work. And so at that point in time, I remember my mentor, Keon, he was like, all right, bro, well, you say you want to do this, then prove it to me. And so sometimes we tell our uplines, like, yo, I just need your help. And they be like, okay, cool. Talk to 10 people. Or get me on the phone with 10 people. Do 10 wellness profiles. And we like, okay. And we leave. They don't hear from us. And then we talk to them the next week and say the same thing. Yo, I want to build my business. I'm doing everything I can. And it's like, nah, you're not doing everything you can because you still haven't got me on the phone with them 10 people. You still ain't built your 100-person list. Some of y'all are Herbalife for 6-7 years, still ain't built y'all 100-person list. Me, I'm still working. I still got to do my 100-person list. That's one of the first things we heard in Opportunity. First 72 hours, you should have had your 100-person list and should have hit up every single person, right? But we so-called did everything we possibly can, right? So it's more that we could be doing. But I remember him telling me, okay, cool. So if you want this, then show me. And he said, I want you to learn how. He said, listen, I don't do the nutrition club model. So I can't even teach you. But I'm going to support you if you learn how. And I remember, it's crazy, like the grind. Like, it's real deal grind, y'all. Like, that people don't see. People see the Millionaire team now, and they see this now, and they see you got 6-7 clubs in your organization now, or you made $18,000 last month. Like, you travel to LA every other month or every month, and you're doing this and that, right? But they don't understand the setup. They don't know the grind that's going on today, and the grind that it took to set this up 3 years ago, right? Me going to my sidelines. Not even I guess they sideline somehow in Herbalife, but not even my real people that's not even in my organization, and saying like, yo, how are you guys building? Can I come shadow? Me driving, right? Me driving 4.5 hours by myself to another state to go train in somebody else's club or to go shadow in somebody else's club, working for 6 hours, 7 hours, and driving another 4 hours back home Because at the time I couldn't afford a hotel and all of that. Now now it's a little different, right? But that type of grind, no excuses. And mind you, this is from an active world team member who had I got an organization. I just need them to come with me. I just need them to do their part. I just need them to do their weight. But guess what? Sometimes you got to do it yourself. Sometimes you got to show up first. Sometimes you got to show up alone. You can't wait on your upline. You can't wait on your sideline. You can't wait on your downline. You got to go out there and make it happen. You got to go out there and make it happen. So this is the type of grind that I was doing, right? Going out there, seeking the work, seeking the knowledge, and then the humility to actually ask, right? The humility to go to EJ and say, hey, bro, like, I see you and I respect you. Sometimes I see a whole lot of black men on this line, so shout out to the brothers. Sometimes we see each other and we want to compete instead of applauding. That's one thing I love about Herbalife. Like, I love at Herbalife that I get to be like, man, my guy, cool. Oh, the homie always fly, and I get to big up him. I get to talk good about it, right? Sometimes in other areas, we see another man and we want to down talk him, right? We want to talk bad about him. We want to say, well, I'm better than him or blah, blah. Like, nah. In this opportunity, we get to show love to one another, and we get to win together, right? We get to compete with instead of competing against. And so I was able to go to EJ, though, put the pride aside and say, hey, bro, like, man, what you've done, your growth compared to mine is, I grew some, you grew exponentially. I went from 1,000 to 2,500. You went from 2,500 to 12,000 in the same amount of time. What is it that you're doing that I need to improve upon, right? Can you show me how? Can you teach me the way? And then doing the work to go out and learn. So April 1st, right, is when he told me about the Nutrition Club model. Talked to my mentor the next day, my dad the next day, immediate action, right? By May 7th, so in between this time, May 7th, I signed my lease. By May 7th, I signed my lease to my very first Nutrition Club. Okay? So that's immediate action in a month. Some of us been thinking about it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, right? And this ain't just about the lease. Everything I'm saying is applying to just your business and your life in general, whatever that might be. Only you know in your heart or your mind what's holding you back. That's a crazy thing. A lot of times we already got the answers to our own problems. We already be having the answers to our own questions. We already know what our downfalls. We already know what our downfalls are. We already know what we already know what we're doing that we shouldn't be doing, and we already know what we probably should be doing, right? So knowing that, but we don't take immediate action to fix it. But anyway, so April 1st, May 7th, signed my lease. Now, in that meantime, what was I doing? I wasn't sitting down hoping, wishing, saying, will it fall in my lap? Every single day I was waking up, doing the Nutrition Club training. Like I said, making the 4.5-hour drive, making the phone calls, reaching out to other sideline organizations, putting my pride aside, going and adding value. Sometimes all we want to do is ask questions, but we don't add value. I was going into nutrition clubs and buying shakes, buying teas. I got products at home. I don't need your shake or your tea, right? But now if I'm going to come in here, let me come in here and let me learn. Let me show some support. Let me show some love. And let me observe at the same time, right? This is chess, not checkers. Let's learn. Let's add value. And once we add value, right, we can receive it in the same sentence, right? In the same way. And in doing that, got the steps, signed my lease. And at that point, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of y'all are like, man, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. All I can say is, figure it out. Like in the words of Dennis Dowdell, you figure out how to get it done. But the thing is, what I tell my team all the time, the money is and I'll swear to y'all, the money is the least important thing. Because I know that's everybody's first number one thing. Well, I don't have the money. When your heart is committed, you will be surprised at what happened. Some of y'all been collecting $10,000 unemployment checks. Anyways, right? We done got $12,000 from unemployment. If your heart was committed already, think about it. If your heart was committed already to where you wanted to go, the moment that happened, you'd have been like, damn, I already know where I want this to go. Because my heart been on it the whole time. My mind been training on it and preparing for it the whole time. And it's some things that's going to happen in your life, some situations. You prepare yourself right now, put yourself in position right now, but where your passion lies, where your heart lies, where your mind is, are you setting yourself up to when it does happen, opportunity does present itself, you ready? Right? So don't, and like I said, I tell the team, and Mike know, because I've been telling Mike, I said, bro, the money's the least important thing. Because before you know it, you truly show up, truly show committed, things that happen, man. I'm telling you. Gotta put some things, gotta open up some doors that you didn't expect. Alone, when y'all wanted that new car, I seen Jerry Cooper hop out the new SRT Hellcat. What, that $70,000 whip, bro? Let me drive the whip. I just got a little SS. I heard you got the Hellcat. I only got 455 horsepower. I heard you got 707, bro.
Stop it, dude.
I heard you got 707 under the hood. But right? But we make ways for the things that we want. Every single one of us. Every single one of us. Whether it's that job, whether it's that school, whether it's that car, whether it's that house, that apartment, whatever it is, that girl or that guy. Some of y'all run all the game in the world to pull shawty, but won't run game for your business. Right? It's the same thing. Man, when your heart is committed to what you want, the strongest desire will always win. Okay? But in doing that, so boom, May 7th, open my nutrition club. Now, how has that transitioned into me growing a business? So now, one thing, and I'm not thinking just for myself, the whole purpose of the club, mind you guys, which I think is one of the biggest things, and I know it's the biggest thing, is not only do you put yourself in a position to win, but you put others in a position to win with you. And so while mind you, I had an organization that at the time wasn't, right, was not there, was not showing up with me in this aspect, in this area. Not saying, I'm sure they're all was doing their own thing and following their journey, but we all wasn't in alignment, I should say, as far as where we saw and what direction we was headed in our business. And I didn't blame them. To me, as a leader, you got to look and see, well, what am I doing? And so for me, when it came to the nutrition club, I said, I want to give them. And so for you, it might be starting your challenge. It might be your group chat. It might be your team call. Shout out to Coop for putting this call on, right? Reaching out to me, hunting me down, because I'm terrible at texting. Hunting me down, making sure, right, that I got on this call. It's things like that to say selflessly, it's not just for me, it's for the organization. I want to do something where other people can win and we can win together and we can run and grow together. And so in doing that, saying, you know what? I didn't have anybody there to sign up. There was nobody else's name on that lease. It wasn't nobody else's name on that lease. It wasn't nobody else searching for architects, searching for painters, doing the work, learning the code, talking to the health department, right? Making the investments, taking out the loans. Ain't nobody else's name on the loan but mine. But I was willing to say that and do it with an open heart. And it wasn't to come back to the team and say, nah, F you wasn't here with me when I wasn't saying you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. I said, nah, hey, bet we here now. It's an open gym now. Let's all get some shots up, right? And invited the team. So like Jerome says, if you build it, they will come, right? So that was my mindset. If I build it, they'll come. How I'm going to ask some of us, sometimes we ask our team to come back, and it's like, come back to what? What am I coming back to? You in the same place you was when I left, right? You in the same place I was when I left. What can we do different? What can we show like, yo, you know what? This was a journey for me just as it was for you. And it's not even about the money, and it's not even about the pen, but it's about the commitment, the sacrifice, the input of what we're willing to do and how we're willing to show up to create the change in our lives and in the lives of others that we want. And when people can see that, that's what's going to bring people back. That's what's going to bring new people. And so I remember having this nutrition club, signing this lease. I don't know who's going to work the bar. I don't know who's going to show, who's going to be there here to help. But I remember, you know, I'm like, yo, if I got to work at 7 to 7, I'll do it. Like, that's fine. If I got to work this thing by myself, I'll do it. And I know eventually somebody got to show up. It could be somebody new. They say that all the time. A lot of times your next level in the business is not going to be built off of the people that's in your business right now. Right? If you're going for a world team, it's probably not going to be built off of the 1 or 2 distributors that you got in your team right now. If you're going for active world team, it's not going to be built off of the 2 or 3 or 4 distributors that you got right now. If you're going for get team, it's not off of the 3 or 4 or 5 distributors you got right now. It's going to be built off of new people. Right? And so I remember saying, cool, and opening that first location. Our first day we did 53 shakes. 53 consumptions. It was dope. I think we made probably around $400 or $500, which is incredible because I was broke. broke. I had literally spent my last. We opened our first, and once again, like I said, committed, man, heart committed. I know y'all see some of these clubs, and some of y'all now, you know, we just, man, it's crazy. God is good. We just wrote a check for $20,000 to get to a contractor to work on our club. And that was only for half. So we got another $20,000. We got to come out further on down the line. But I'm glad and I'm grateful to be able to do that. But when we had our first nutrition club, I mean, we didn't change no flooring. The painting was chipped. No. We opened, man. We ain't had no fridge. We didn't have no freezer. We opened with a cooler. Probably breaking health code laws. But hey, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Right? We ain't had no fridge yet. I had no chairs and no tables. All we had was a bar and blenders. And we had some fire blenders, though. Listen, don't be cheap with the blenders, y'all. The blenders is where it's at. If y'all listen, that's a clue right there. The blenders is where it's at. That's the most. If you're gonna spend money, spend it on the blender. It's like on an outfit. If you're gonna spend money, what part of the outfit you spend money on? Yep. Okay, Sharif, I'm assuming. The shoes. You feel me? You can have a regular white tee on, some regular jeans from PacSun or Zara, but you got the shoes right, you good. So the blenders is the spend money on the blenders. But anyways, right? So I'm talking about, but the heart was so committed, we wasn't even tripping. As long as I got some place that's mine that you can come to, right? And I can pour up some water in a nice blender, blend you up some shake, boom, and serve you a good shake, I'm with it. And I know you'll be coming back. So that was our mindset. We wasn't embarrassed. We wasn't like, oh, well, it can't be. It was just about progress. And in our first day, being able to make the extra $500, cool, we were able to place an order and finally get some bar stools. And we built along the way, right? Within a year, we were able to hit global expansion team, okay, which was incredible. Within my first month owning the nutrition club, we probably made our highest. That was the first time that's when we saw more growth in our income. So went from making $1,500, $2,400 a month to that. I think our very first month, we probably made about $3,500, $4,000. We qualified for our Cancun promo. That was our first out of the country promo we went to. That's where me and Coop was at. You know, I can't say what we did in Mexico, but it was fun. We went on some adventures. We ducked off in some we found some hidden doors and some hidden alleyways. It turned out. All right, anyways. Right. Had fun, qualified for my first promo. So seeing immediate growth inside of our organization from this commitment, right, through the nutrition club, being able to not only grow personal volume, also grow income, but also create an opportunity for others to come in and eat, right? Opportunity for other operators, distributors to come in and build and earn income with us, right? So oh yeah, that's where I met my dog, the homie. She like, hey, you forget about me. I remember seeing Sabette. I asked her to play volleyball. She was like, you don't want these problems. She said, you don't want these problems. But yeah, qualifying for the first promo ever, absolutely game changer. And now I'm like addicted to promos. Like I love traveling, getting ready to do a team retreat with our squad to Arizona for November, right? And been so many places now. But it started with, once again, it's the investment. The more you invest into your business, right, the more that you're able to see the growth. And it starts small, but the more that you grow, and along the way, right, as things progress, then you take those steps. So we went from our first nutrition club to boom, getting our second nutrition club, right? We went to making $3,000 to making $5,000 to a fully qualified global expansion team member making over $7,000 a month within our first year in the business. Now, and I know I'm gonna end soon, so we can get Q&A, or you guys can finish off your night. But another thing too is, to me, a big part of the story is the constant seeking of growth. Last night I put it on my Instagram. I just made a story. It was crazy. I heard a video from like Young Thug. He was saying a prayer on Instagram. He basically was like, God, I pray that you give me the energy to always, I pray that you give me energy to always seek information and growth. He said, I'm not praying for money. I don't pray for money, but I pray that you give me energy to seek information. Because if you have the energy to seek information, the money will come, the goals will come, all that other stuff will come. And so I'm grateful, and I always pray God to always allow me to always remain humble and always give me a mindset and a heart to stay open and to seek more. Because even though we were a global expansion team, solid organization, collecting all of that, right? And not only collecting a bonus and collecting our check, but making, like I said, $7,000+ with the nutrition club and everything. We didn't have to go and say we need to take another big risk. We didn't have to say we need to put more money in. We didn't have to say we need to put more money into our business. We could have easily sat back and stacked. Now, that's another thing I tell the team. Like, we could have easily sat back and put away four racks a month and been good, right? And just been straight. I mean, collecting. But I remember being about a year in, I was like, man, Get Team is dope. But once again, we present beyond, and not even about the pen. It's just about just the overall vision of always wanting to grow. And then taking my first earnings and saying, cool, we're going to double it back and getting our second nutrition club, right? Even when we didn't have to, taking on more, right? More risk, or so to speak, but investing more into the business to see more growth. And so when people look and they're like, damn, the homie double cut, triple cut, to me, it's like, man, we ain't really, we double cut, yeah, it's dope, but like, not really. Because I've been working on this for a year. Like, what about last August, when I was driving 50 minutes away? So I got my, from my first club to my second club, and I'm working there all day in the snow, and I'm handing out invites, and I spent thousands, a whole lot, right, to improve the place and to give out invites and to boost posts on Instagram and to do this and do that and make improvements. What about all of those things? Like, that was the type of move that it took to get to this next level. So back then, people are looking at saying, oh, damn, he came out of nowhere. Nah, this 6 years in the making. You feel me? I've been putting in work for 6 years. We've been, we've been grinding for this. And every single time we got to a next level, it was never like, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was like, man, what's next? Who's next? And that's still the same mindset to this day. Since we hit Millionaire Team, before we went into Millionaire Team cuts, we went to Millionaire Team cuts, I believe, in April. So that's, like I said, we double cut, right? In March, we hit a cut of 2.5. That's another thing, failure. Don't be afraid to fail. Like, sometimes people, they're like, and they miss cuts, or they see some failure in their business, or their business drops or dips, man. Everybody's business drops. Everybody's business dips. That's just a part of business. And it's not just in Herbalife, that's in life. You feel me? There's times McDonald's numbers ain't as high as they always are. No matter how big the business is, it happens to every business, right? And so in March, we hit first cut 2.5, right? February, we hit first cut 2.5. March, and our second cut of 2.5, we missed. And for me, I've seen people, and I always tell people, man, don't hold your head when you miss a cut. I wasn't holding my head. I was like, it's all good, because I know the plans. I know the plans of what we working. I know the plan of what we got, and I know it's just a matter of time. And next thing you know, so we missed our second cut of 2.5 in March. In April, we hit our first cut, or we first cut of 2.5 again, right? And first cut of Millionaire team. And double cut for the rest of the time. And been hitting meal cut since, right? But during that time too, a lot of things is what was the work that was being put in, what was being done, right? And don't think that there wasn't adversity. I had clubs, right, that went on pause while I'm going into cuts, meaning they were open and then wasn't open for a period of time for whatever reason. COVID happened. What you think happened to club consumptions, right? But the mindset wasn't, oh no, like Mark said, poor old miserable me. Why does this always have to happen to me? It was like, damn, what do we got to do to combat this? What's next? And then learning from calls, like really, really learning from calls. Like, don't get on the calls and be like, oh, that speaker was cool. Like, who cares about the speaker? Speaker I don't matter. What I eat don't make you, right? It don't matter. Nothing about me. The only reason why the speaker matters so you could take it away from the speaker and say, well, how can I apply it to my life to make my life better? How can I apply it to my team, make my team better? And so I remember getting on calls, right, being plugged in and hearing different leaders in the business scene, what they was doing here and how they was talking about how they started working, how they were working with the organization more, how they were getting, not only were they working behind their bar, but when they would come home, instead of sitting on the couch and not doing nothing for the rest of the night, they was getting on the phone and they was working with lines. And it was in that point in my mind, I was like, damn, I need to start working with my lines. Like, let me actually start looking at my people and my people's people and seeing how can I build leaders in those lines and how can I find leaders in each line. And I believe, and I know for a fact that if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have hit mill in those during those months. Because if we was just sitting back and just chilling with the clubs, or we wasn't learning along the way and saying, how can we do more? How can we connect? How can we build? And we was only sitting back on what's happened in the past, we would have missed out. But learning and growing and putting into immediate action. Ever since then, I ain't gonna lie, ever since quarantine, I ain't never did as many calls in my life. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Work, and I'm talking about right now, last night I went to bed at probably like 2 a.m. I woke up at 6 a.m. because I had to be at my nutrition club at 7. Woke up at 7, got to my club at 7, worked my bar shift from 7 to 1. We got some team members who flew all the way in, so shout out to them, Amani and Bree from LA, right? Flew all the way in to come learn about the club. So one, having an open arm, inviting them in to say, yeah, come learn what we're doing, because somebody did it for me at one point too. So let me pass the favor on, even though I'm super tired. Right? Allowed them, they came in, right? Went to the airport, which is an hour and a half away. Boom. We went to clubs, showed them clubs, brought them back here. I mean, right now it's about to be 11 p.m. I've been up since 6. Went to bed at 2. 4 hours of sleep and like 5 energy teas, right? But just showing up for the work, though, and not complaining. And Coop asked me, shout out to my boy, like I said, man, shout out to his commitment to you guys. Because even when he called me, he was like, bruh, like, listen, bro. Like, I respect it. If you can't, I got respect for you and I got love for you either way. But, man, I really want you on this call. And I had to be like, one, that's my dog. So, I'm going to do whatever for the homie. But I'm like, man, you know what? Like, this is a part, like, and not even for a selfish reason. But it's like we got to be so selfless that we always giving and thinking about how can we add and support and add value. And that's the mindset that allows growth. Not only within yourself personally, spiritually, mentally, physically, but also in your organization, also in your business. And that same mindset, that's the same way that you'll show up for your team and your organization. And that's going to be a big part of the process of being growth, right? But obviously now, like I said, new Millionaire team. Beginning of quarantine, we had 2 clubs that were open. I own both of them. And then one that was on pause. But now we have currently 6 clubs in our organization. 2 of them that's currently under construction, that's not open yet. So they're under construction, that's being built. And the goal is, we on this press run 2020. So shout out to the team that's on the line. We committed not just to getting me the president's team, but once again, what does that look like? And so last but not least, like what I said is, for you guys getting your upline to the next level, right? I know when we were going for Millionaire team, my biggest thing was we getting KO to 30K. And when I call KO right now, I'm not like, bro, you got to give me the press. I'm like, bro, listen, we about to get you to 100K. That's what the conversation is. Because I know I want to be the biggest part of that 100K. I want to contribute as much as I possibly can. Because in doing that, that means growth in myself, growth in my organization, right? So even when we talk about, to my team, Road to Prez, it's not like, oh, get Stephen to Prez, but it's like, who are you going to be in these Prez team cuts? Because that means somebody got to be winning, right? Who going to hit Active World team? Who going to hit Global Spanish team? Who going to hit 2.5? Who going to hit Mill? Who going to hit Prez? Who going to be the first diamond? And that's the conversation that we get to have and the growth that we get to see. So that's all I got. Hopefully I got some value from it. Appreciate y'all. Y'all got any questions?
Man, first of all, let me just say, dude, Steven, man, committed, man. Definitely. That's one thing I can say. Definitely when I got on the phone with him yesterday, he was driving. I seen it in his eyes. He was tired. I'm like, listen, dog, I need you. Like, what's good? He's like, you know what? Let me look at my schedule. Actually, you know what? Don't let me look at my schedule. I got you. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. He's committed. That's the relationship that we done built. Shout out to him. Everybody, please come off mute and just give him a round of applause. Shout it out. Get ratchet for my man.
Looking up, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For keeping it solid, bruh.
Yeah.
It's awesome. If you guys have any questions, we want to take like 2, 3, maybe 4 questions. If you guys have anything that you want to ask, it's 11:02 for him. He got to get going. You know, he got to get up at 6 a.m., get to the club at 7. So if you have any questions, please come off mute and ask. Or if we do not have any,
I got something to ask. What's up, man? My name's Will. I just hit supervisor about a couple weeks ago. My main struggle right now is hitting my first 2,500. So from your experiences, what was an obstacle you had to come over to hit your first 2,500 to get your full royalties? You feel me, and build that momentum.
Hey, first off, congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
What you do outside of this?
Outside of this, I go to school. I'm a full-time student at SF State, and other than that, I just work at a Nike.
Okay.
Part-time.
What did you do in high school?
High school, I played football. I was an athlete for the most part.
Okay. So the reason why I say that is because I think, and it doesn't necessarily matter what the answer may be, but I think for each individual person, you have to understand what you've done outside of Herbalife, what you've been able to accomplish outside of Herbalife, what you're able to do like in your life in general, what skills and talents do you have in as a person, and apply that to your business. Okay. Sometimes we come into the business and we'll lack confidence in the business, and we'll lack confidence in this, or we ask questions about this, or we lack a certain work ethic in this area of our business. But really, we have all the tools it needed. Because to play ball in high school, right, you had to have some type of, man, you know how them coaches talk crazy. So you have to have thick skin, right? So that means you can handle rejection. That means you should be able to handle rejection in the marketplace. So when you go out there and you talk to 100 people and 99 people tell you no, it should be no problem, because you've already developed thick skin in something else in another area of your life. Just apply that to Herbalife, right? To get a spot, it takes going above and beyond. It takes being coachable, right? To play ball, it takes being coachable, following the lessons that your coach has told you to do, developing a confidence level on the field. Something they say all the time in football is next play, right? Yeah. Short-term memory. So those same things apply to us building in our business, right? Talk to more people, recruit more people faster. Something that helped me grow and go to 2,500 cuts was, I didn't even realize when I was first hitting cuts, because I had my business. I recruited my first business partner, and that was Mike Curry, who's on the line now as an active World Team member on his way to Get Team, right? And so I just genuinely, naturally had already recruited him into the business. So 2,500 came easy because, I might have did 1,800 or retailed 1,000 or 1,800, and he retailed 1,000, 1,800. Now we already at 2,800 plus. You know what I mean? So I would encourage you, one, to don't overthink the recruitment aspect, but really put the homies on, right? Whatever that may be for you, whether it's your guys at Nike or whether at school, but apply that same confidence for the skills that it takes in Herbalife. Literally all it is connecting with people and showing people a way to get healthy on the products, or showing people a way how to make money through the opportunity, and applying whatever skills that you've already developed in life, applying it to these specific tasks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Abene, I see you come off mute, Abene.
Okay, so my name is Abene. I'm a senior consultant. I've been doing this for Billy. This is my daughter, Billy. So you mentioned sacrifices, right? What are you willing to sacrifice to make $25,000? Well, around the same time that I became a distributor, I started my fitness line. So my business started around the same time, right? That is doing and bringing in a lot more money than what I'm doing with Herbalife. And in all honesty, I had a sort of following on Instagram that has got me where I am with my business. Now, the issue that I'm running into is I'm not putting as much into Herbalife because I'm not getting so much from it in return. I'm dedicating more time to my business. When you mention sacrifices and what you're willing to put on the back burner, for me, I'm just like, well, wouldn't I pay more attention to what's giving me money? Even though ultimately, similar to yourself, my main goal is to let other people in my community know this product works, this could help you, I could help you. Fitness has helped me with anxiety and depression, whoop-de-whoop. However, again, at the same time, me being a mother, me having the influence that I have, this is what's bringing me money. My business has gotten pretty successful. It's still in the beginning, but it's bringing in money. So I guess I'm just like, what would you, sweetheart, please don't do that, baby. You know where it's at. What would you suggest that, like, what advice could you give someone like me who's like, I don't really know. I'm still trying to split myself down the middle. Oh, my business, oh, Herbalife. But then sometimes it also seems as though the same people who support my business is like, how dare you sell Herbalife at the same time? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I just feel like I could do it all, right? Can I not do it all? I don't know. Like, let me know something.
No, for sure. Okay, so I think the biggest thing is I think the thing is, like you said, you want to split yourself down the middle, and that's where people go wrong. So like, well, they're trying to separate two entities, and it's not two entities. Like, you offer multiple services. Like, it's as simple as that. And honestly, the client base kind of collide, right? So I already I used to be I don't really train anymore, but I was a certified personal trainer. And when I told y'all when I moved to Columbus and whatnot, and I was getting ready, to move to LA, I started training at LA Fitness in order to be able to earn additional money to be able to move out to LA. So while I'm doing Herbalife, I'm training at LA Fitness, but I didn't separate the two. I didn't look at myself like, oh, I'm a trainer at this time and I'm an Herbalife coach at this time. I'm a trainer that's going to get you in shape through your workouts, and I offer Herbalife nutrition because that's going to help you get the best results. It's point blank, period. If you don't want to do Herbalife, that's on you. No problem. I'm still going to train you. You're still going to pay me to train you. That's on you. And vice versa. So understanding that it's not like a split decision. You don't have to click a switch. I think people that click a switch on and off for Herbalife, that's when you had the hardest time doing it, because you don't know when to click it on or off. But when you just do Herbalife and you allow people, either you want in or you don't, right? It's perfectly fine with me. This is who I am. I can still be, you feel me? I can still be me and have my interests and do Herbalife. And that's what I think people really want anyways. People don't necessarily always they don't want to become somebody different. They just want to elevate who they are. And when you can show somebody that Herbalife is one of the best platforms for you to elevate who you are.
Please wait.
Success.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening to you though.
Yeah, no, that was all. I was just saying, whenever you can show people how to elevate who they are, like, through your fitness. So continue to push your fitness line. Don't separate, the two don't have to be separate. Continue to show the multiple avenues that you have to offer. I offer fitness apparel. I offer training. I offer waist trainers. I offer nutrition. I offer, and then also bridging the gap. If someone's ordering, Nike or excuse me, whatever your brand might be, right? Now I'm gonna talk about another brand. So
it's like fitness and lounge, and so it seems as though they're like, how dare you live this lifestyle and also try to push fitness? And it's like, because it's all hand in hand, but it's like, again, with it being a new thing, people are trying to be receptive of the fact that I'm doing fitness, I'm pushing a nutritional supplement, and also selling the stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, I guess they kind of just feel like I said, how dare you? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you could pay attention to any of that. I think you get to be you, and you get to determine who you are as a brand, right? And you get to determine who you like, how you want to live your life, how you want to build your brand, how you want to, how you want to promote. And at the end of the day, you just have to stay true to that. If you're not true to it, once again, like I said, with the open heart, open mind, and staying committed, Tamika Adams said, committed hearts only. you know, then if you're trying to like feel like I gotta play this certain role, then it's gonna be a problem. But if you like, bro, like this is what it is. Like this is how I get down. If you don't get down with it, so what? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And don't listen, you ain't gotta never force nothing. Like you ain't gotta never force nothing. You ain't gotta never force Herblock. You ain't gotta never force that, you know, whatever else that you do. Our goal is to help people achieve a goal that they want. Simply put.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, you guys. In respect of everybody's time, it's 8:11. I know the call was supposed to end at 8. So again, Stephen, thank you, my guy. We appreciate you. You've had golden nuggets, bro. Golden. I got a notebook full of stuff. I'm sure the rest of the team do. This call is going to be recorded. I'm going to send it to you. And as the rest of you guys know, it's going to be in the chat. Stephen, thank you for coming on the call, blessing us with your presence, giving us the nuggets, doing what you do. We appreciate you. Other than that, you guys, let's keep running. Let's keep helping people. Let's keep getting to the bag. And you already know. I'm going to see y'all.
Thank you again.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Thank you.